so little introduction. I want to rank all of the extremes I've beaten so far over like 3.5 years. I know I'm bad at the game. On a tier list from F tier to S tier. Spoiler, I actually don't put anything in D tier because I don't have any middling opinions like that. There's one in F tier, but honestly it's top heavier than I expected it to be. I thought I'd hate all these levels. I remember I do get quite mad when I'm playing levels sometimes, but looking back at them, you kind of see them through some rose-tinted glasses. But I think that's fair, because obviously you're going to get annoyed at a level when you're trying to beat it, because you're dying all the time. Once you've beaten it, it's done. It's an experience, you can look back at it. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, so first of all is Wavebreaker. I beat this as I think my 6th or 7th or something. 6th, I think. Or maybe 8th, actually, I can't remember. I think it looks pretty good, but that's about it. That's the only thing I like about this level, really. Like, it looks kind of cool. The worst part about it is, I don't know if this is a 2.2 thing or if this has always been a thing, but there's this spider part halfway through where the moving objects just destroy the part. Like, sometimes your clicks don't register, sometimes you get bounced up into the ceiling and it just kills you for no reason. It sucks. Also, I don't know, some of the end parts felt a bit jank. Dorami's part is so unfathomably bad. It's just not a very good level. I don't even know why I bothered finishing it once I found out about all those bugs. And also the fact that I just died quite a few times at the end means I had a horrible time with it, so F tier, to be honest. Okay, next level is Phantasmagoria, another level that looks really nice. This one is easier. It's like a very easy extreme demon. It's easier than Wavebreaker. This level is really good. It consists of 4 parts. Each part has got really nice deco. It flows really well. The gameplay's really fun. Even the gameplay of the 4th part is fun. But the thing about the 4th part is it's so much harder than the rest of the level. In my completion video, I'm literally talking until I get there because everything else became so easy that I could basically do it every attempt. The 4th part, that ball, is so impossible. I don't understand the balancing of this level. Like, in my opinion, good balancing is when you make the start of the level easier and the start of the level harder and the end of the level easier. This is just the other way around. It's still fun, the end, but it's just really hard, and for some reason I struggled with it even more from 0. So I didn't enjoy it that much. C tier is probably a little bit harsh, considering it's kind of fun, but I don't know, that balancing just really ruined it for me. Okay, next is Sakupen Hell, another C tier level. It's weird putting this one in the same level as Phantasmagoria, because I feel like it is objectively almost a worse level. It looks nowhere near as nice, and it's just, like, difficult wave. But the reason I put it in the same tier is because the waves are still fun. It's the wave game mode, it's always going to be pretty fun. The balancing is a little bit better, obviously the middle's easier, but that's fine, I think. Like, as long as the end isn't a diff spike, I think that's fine. The waves were kind of fun. I also think I probably don't hate this one as much because I only died in the last wave once. It could have been a lot worse. Knowing me, I could have died there like 10 times, and that probably would have put it in F tier. But it's alright. The first wave is the hardest one, I think, which also, that follows my rules of good balancing. So I kind of didn't hate this one, like, not enough to put it in D or F tier, but also it's still Sakupen Hell, so it's not getting BA or S tier. Okay, now I get to start talking about levels I kind of like. Starting with Accu. I beat this as my 5th extreme, right after Bloodbath. I beat it pretty quickly, which was kind of fun, because Bloodbath took me ages. I like the gameplay, it's fun, and it looks really nice, obviously. Again, though, the balancing is kind of not very good, because the end is harder. And I did die there quite a lot in this case. In fact, I think I died at the last triple. Or maybe the click before the last triple, I can't remember. But I still like the level. The reason I didn't put it in C tier, I put it in B tier, is because it's kind of just... It's almost so good that I have to ignore my experience with it, especially because I wasn't that good back then. It's not like where I could have beat it in a day. It took me 5 days. And so it was kind of a bit annoying for me, but I still loved playing the start of it, especially coming back to it because I played it a lot when I was really bad and couldn't get anywhere. So it was kind of cool seeing myself better at the game, which is why I put it in C tier, and it just looks so good, and so loads of it flows so well. It's a good level. It's also a really good beginner extreme. Okay, Prismatic Haze. This level, it's really fun, and I would probably enjoy it a lot more if I came back to it now, but I beat this as my 3rd extreme after Cat Planet, and that was definitely a bit of a jump. I found it fun at the start, which is why I didn't give up, because it was, a bit of a jump in difficulty. But then the more I played it, I just kept dying at the end. The end is a little bit harder than the start. There's some weird clicks, which just make it unfun balancing-wise. I'm complaining about that a lot here, but I think that's justified because balancing honestly makes a level. Like, the deco is one thing, the gameplay is one thing, but the balancing is really matters to me. At the end of the day, the gameplay, you get good at it no matter what it is, really, when you're learning a level, especially if it's an extreme. So it's the balancing that I think matters when determining the quality of your experience with a level, and Prismatic Haze kind of suffered from bad balancing. It took me a while to beat, but I beat it during the summer holidays, so it didn't feel like a while because I was just sort of doing nothing the whole time. This is the one level where I don't have footage of me beating it. I've got 98 on recording, but I don't actually have the recording of me beating it. And it's kind of just faded from my memory. Like, I beat it a long time ago, and I remember kind of complaining about it a lot back then. Okay, it's Forbidden Isle. The reason to beat it is because it's kind of a nothing level. Like, I beat it pretty quickly when I was kind of good at the game, and it did start to annoy me a bit at the end because I died like loads at the end. Not because it's harder, just because I suck and I didn't realize how you're supposed to do that click pattern. So I can't really go, oh, the balancing is bad, and put it low for that because I'm just bad. The deco is simple. I like it, actually. I really like the deco style of this level, even though it's simple. I kind of wish more levels went for that kind of style where it's like, we're not trying to be too flashy, like Wavebreaker, for example. We're just trying to do a simple thing. It's thematically consistent, which is really cool. And it's just a unique level. The gameplay is fine, I guess. There's a lot of like wave that you just kind of do, like sight readable wave, which is nice, although I did find myself dying to that, which was annoying. Apart from that, I quite liked it. Pretty simple experience. It didn't like blow me away or anything, so no A or S tier though. Okay, this is a big level, Bloodbath. I put it in B tier, which surprised me. When I thought about it again, I expected to put this like D or F, but I decided to think about it again, really think about the level. I had a horrible time with it, and I think that's just because it's totally not my skill set. My skill set is like shorts, and kind of, I don't want to say timings, but like just muscle memory. You can grind muscle memory on it. Bloodbath, there's a degree of that, but it's just kind of long. I didn't beat it as a jump technically, because Prismatic Haze is harder, but I kind of was like, I was still recovering from that step up in difficulty, right? I don't think I was the right skill level to be attempting this level when I beat it. It took me a while. I died loads at the end. I had like 25 deaths past the auto, and that started to really annoy me by the end. I died at 98 on Bloodbath. It's a triple spike. That was horrible. But beating it felt really good. Like, you feel proud of yourself when you beat a level like that. So I was kind of happy with myself for beating it. Also, it's a classic level. It's Bloodbath. You kind of, if I was to give it an F tier, that would be like, it'd feel offensive almost. It'd be like, this level defined a lot of what newer levels do. And the gameplay is fine. Like, Vermilion's ball part is pretty good. Crack is really fun. Michigan is terrible. I'm going to be honest, I really hated Michigan's part. I used to get like excited when I got past that part because I used to die there so often. Especially the UFO, that's such a diff spike, and that kind of ruined a lot of the level for me. And also, the 18-9 ship, I was so bad at. I died there so many times, and that is just a skill issue, but again, subjective ranking, and that brought the level down for me. But I still think I'm being fair by giving it a B tier, because it's an old level. It's honestly, the decoration's fine for its time, and it is so iconic that I just feel like I couldn't give it any lower than a B tier. Okay, next is Cataclysm, which I put in A tier. Definitely wouldn't have put it in A tier when I first played it. It was my first extreme. I didn't hate it when I played it, to be fair. It's not like my experience with Wavebreaker where I just despised it. I kind of liked it the whole time. I didn't get too many end deaths. I did die at the last straight fly, but that was just, I was jumping from a medium demon. I was going to die at every possible point, really. Going back to it, I've beaten it 2 times in a row now. It's really fun. It gets really consistent. The deco's pretty good. Again, pretty good for its time. And similar logic to Bloodbath, really. It's an iconic level. The wave at the start is obviously the hardest part, but I found it fun, and also it did get consistent. And the fact that the end is so easy is just perfect balancing. I like balancing that just goes down in difficulty over time. It makes the level a fun experience to play. You get, like, when you get far, you don't just die immediately. It's not like, oh, I've got to 80%, I'm going to die now. So the balancing is perfect. The deco's nice. Like, the piano part honestly holds up. It's so good. And the song, again, I didn't say this about Bloodbath because, I don't know, I just didn't. But the song fits really well. I'm trying to think if there's any annoying choke points. Not really. I did struggle with the ship at, like, 40 something when I first beat it, but that's just because I sucked. Like, it's not actually that hard compared to the rest of the stuff around it. And a lot of the stuff before 40 is honestly just so fun, like the ball and the UFO. They get consistent. That's a fun click pattern. I liked it enough to give it an A tier, especially because of how consistent it gets. Like, you can beat it 2-3 times in a row if you're good. There's just no parts that feel luck-based. And that is partly due to it being easy, but also there's something about the gameplay, I think. Like, me personally, I couldn't beat AcQ that, like, a lot of times in a row, I don't think. because it's just a different gameplay style, and for me that gameplay style gets consistent, and I like it. Okay, the last level before S tier is Niwa. That's, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Niwa. It's a level I beat very recently, and very quickly, the quickest I've ever beaten Extreme in 2 days, 2 sessions. I liked it, it's fun, the balancing was a bit icky, but, like, I died at the end part, like, 3 times, I think. But it was fine, because I literally, like, I died there 3 times in the same session I beat it, like, literally 5 minutes later. I feel like it's probably a bit unfair putting it this high, because I'm better now, so, like, realistically, it's probably, like, Niwa and Akio are probably quite similar levels, with similar balancing, but I put this one higher. To be fair, the deco, I think Niwa's deco is better than Akio. I love it. It's, even in LDM, it looks great. I guess technically maybe I should downgrade it a bit, because it does lag my game a lot in a, like, high detail mode, but I think you can kind of ignore that. The LDM is good. It runs fine. The click sync is really satisfying. Like, it's better than Akio in terms of, like, the satisfyingness of the gameplay, I think, especially when you pull it off. And the balancing doesn't suck that bad, because the middle's quite easy, so it feels like once you get far, you get really far. Obviously, it's kind of brought down by the difficulty at the end, but it's easy enough to the point where you can kind of ignore that. And also, the song's really good. Okay, we are into S tier now. The first level in S tier is Blade of Justice, which is my current hardest. I beat this fairly recently, like within a month. I really liked it. I thought it would suffer from the reasons I don't like Bloodbath, with it just being long, but there's something about the gameplay that just clicks with me better than Bloodbath. Like, the wave part at the start, the swing copter, I found the swing copter so unbelievably fun. Even the UFO, which did suck to learn, gets consistent and gets fun. Like, you can have fun with it. The duel is the only part I never found myself liking. I died there a lot. If I got past it or not kind of defined whether or not the run would be good. But once you get consistent at it, it is a really fun level, and it feels epic to beat because it's so long, the song fits so well with the level, the visuals of the level are really cool, like way better than Bloodbath. Honestly, possibly one of my favourite decorations of any level. It's just so good. It fits together perfectly. It's like all the parts feel like they go together really well. It's just, I can't really fault it at all. I can't think of anything bad except for the duel, which still gets consistent. I love this level. Okay, the next level I'm going to talk about is Explicit, which was my hardest before Blade of Justice. It's a much shorter level, it's like half the length, a lot more muscle memory focused, but I still love it just as much because I really like that kind of gameplay where you just kind of lock in some muscle memory, you just play it over and over and over again, and then when you're playing it, you're not even really thinking about when or where you're clicking, you're just enacting your muscle memory based on visual stimulus. It's so fun. It makes you feel so cool when you're playing it. The visuals of this level also are really good. Like, I love Ren's deco style in general, to be honest, but this level is amazing. The pulses, the flashes, the way it all moves, it just makes it feel so climactic, especially the drop. The fact the drop is really close into the level is another good thing because it just feels like every attempt you're getting somewhere. The one thing I didn't like about this level is I kind of had a choke point with it, like almost like right at the end, the last wave section before the final part. I died there a few times, which was annoying, but the level's just so short that it doesn't even feel like you got that far. Like, you can just, like, that's the thing about short levels, is they feel like challenges. Like, it almost doesn't matter if you die to the very end, because if you're consistent enough, you'll get there again and again and again and just beat it. It feels very fair. It feels like the better you get, the further you get, and then you beat it, as opposed to just random choke points popping out all over the place and you losing consistency and stuff. That just doesn't happen with this level. It's a really good level, really fun. And also, I just remember myself whilst playing it, like, I beat it in like 2 weeks. I didn't really get that mad at it at any point. Like, the most annoyed I got was when this choke point kind of started to be a problem because I was getting there, but then it just went away and I beat the level. Very fun. Okay, the final level on this list is Cat Planet. Another S tier level. This was my second Extreme, yes it was. I beat it right after Cataclysm. It didn't take me as long as Cataclysm, even though it's basically the same difficulty tier, but it's a bit harder, I'd say. It's not like, it is entry, but it's not entry. It's not like people's typical first Extreme Demon. It's a 9 circles level. It looks amazing. The fact Ice Cave made this in like 3 days is insane. It's such a good looking level. The gameplay is so fun. The balancing's a bit off because there is like a kind of a choke point at the Succubin Circlesy part, sorry, with the weird fakes. It gets consistent though. I don't remember getting that mad at it. I literally died at 98 on this level, and I still think it's an S tier because the gameplay is so fun. It's really consistently themed. I love the theme of this level. The pre-drop gets 100% consistent. You can get to the drop literally every attempt once you get it, and even though it was my second Extreme, I was getting to the drop every attempt. The wave is just perfect. It's so fun. It's just a really good level. And I mean, it was always going to be a really good level because it's just wave, and you can make wave fun so easily. But the pre-drop is really good, and the consistency of the quality of the wave doesn't go down at any point. The ending is funny, kind of annoying because I died there, but you shouldn't die there if you're good at the game. If I beat this, like now, it would be probably my favourite extreme, just because of how perfect it is. I love Ice Cave so much.